All right, so I'm recording. We're live now. So welcome everyone. This is the first episode of the SuckLessStation podcast. Basically, little backstory. My name is John Corky. I'm one of the SuckLess members. Basically, we're just kind of out here talking to people, whether it be about strongman fitness, their lives, their experiences, and just kind of going into how they try to suck a little less every day, right? Originally, we were supposed to have Zach Schultz on today, but due to some technical difficulties, we had to postpone that. So, the man of the hour, the lifesaver himself, I believe as your nickname now is the giraffe in the strongman community.
Whoa. It's always a nickname that you don't want, right? Ugh.
But this is Dane Trains, and just go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself.
What's happening? I'm Dane. Dane trains on Instagram. Put these shades back on, sunny out here. Been friends with John for a couple years now, right? We met at Top Strength. We can go into that, John. But um, started strongman 4 years ago now. Did powerlifting a couple years before that. Bodybuilding for about 10 years. Did a few shows, a little bit of everything. But I love all things strength, and I love right now. I love strongman and the journey. While we've been at it a while and we're 41 years old and masters, I really still feel like the journey's getting started. We just did PSL 90 finals last weekend, and we're in prep for OSG. So right now, I'll let John take over, but I'm here at my gym. I got some natural stones for OSG that we didn't put back, so I got to put them in this rock pile so my gym owner doesn't yell at me.
So
Don't mind me
take
just rolling
take
stones while I do a podcast.
take note, everybody, right there. Put your equipment away. I think
Multitasking.
I think that was a big thing. Even when I was up there at Top Strength, you made quite a few videos about people not putting their stuff away.
Yeah, I try to be a good ambassador to the gym, and sometimes I'm the bad guy, but somebody's got to be the bad guy. The gym owners can't always be the bad guy. I just want the gym to be a better place always because it's a shared space and it's a happy place. And if
That
anybody's joy is detracting from other people's, that's not right, you know?
Absolutely, that's right. I mean, respect the space that isn't yours, and especially like, a lot of people go to the gym to put in work, right? Or to really work on themselves. So, like, you kind of want to, like, by putting your equipment away, like, you create almost like a welcoming environment if you want to play like the soft realm on it. But like, it makes you more so want to go to the gym when you walk in there and it doesn't look like a fucking bomb went off, right?
Yeah, man, that's true, especially with strongman, with implements and people being in the way, stretching on the turf. We can get into that. It's like the analogy of the shopping cart, man, right? Anybody who's too lazy to put their shopping cart away kind of tells you what kind of human you're going to be.
Dude, it's so
In
true.
all areas of life. How you do anything is how you do everything. And so here I am, the owner of my gym. I messaged her and said, "Hey, I left them over in the grass. I didn't want to damage the parking lot." And she said, "Oh, are they on the grass because they mow?" And I said, "I'll come back Monday." They're not going to mow by Monday, but here I am. I drove back to my gym to put the stones away, and now
Nice.
they're away. And now I can focus on this podcast.
So kind of, I guess, like, I'll just kind of open the door a little bit here. So you just did PSL recently, and you placed pretty well. I'll let you tell everyone how you placed.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I placed fourth. It was kind of a shock. Um, I was really hoping for top 10, right? Top 10 was kind of a goal. That was like an initial goal where, one, if you make top 10, you get to do the gauntlet. Only the top 10 get to do the gauntlet. Can you see me all right in the sun?
Yeah, you're good.
Um, so the first goal was top 10, right? The field was stacked, right? We had some of the best guys in the world, including Tyler Davis, who, in my opinion, is the best.
Oh,
Um,
he's an animal.
he's won everything, dude. 3 years in a row, podium OSG. He won PSL twice in a row. He's won Ultimate Worlds. He's won USS Nats. He's won everything there is to win. Definitely, my opinion, the GOAT, right? And totally on another level. Beat me by like 20 points. Maybe more. Maybe more, right? But I give him his flowers all the time. So top 10 was the goal. There were 16 guys. Unfortunately, CJ Kraus had to pull out because he's another guy who absolutely would push me down, right? CJ is one of the best in the world. So CJ pulled out. So we had 15 guys. And I had gone against, I think, 4 or 5 guys in the past, right? So you kind of not, you don't want to do too much strongman strategy, right? But you kind of look at people's training and your own training and expectations. And so top 10 was the first goal. My coach is Nico Chapralis, Greek Goliath, right? GWO. our goal has always been at these bigger shows, right? We make no delusions, right? We're old. We're 41 years old. We just started our strength and journey. And statically, I'm not one of the best guys. I'm a pretty gifted mover, but and I'm a grinder. But so we always say, let's try to crack the top 50%. So when I did PSL 105 last year, there was 15 guys. We wanted eighth, right? We got sixth. OSG, we had 38 guys. We wanted to be somewhere around 19th, right? People say, oh, 19th, oof, rough, right? But dude, that class
that is
was the most stacked.
that is the competition though, right? And you're in the 90 kilos. Like the guys coming to inside 90s, especially inside OSG, are generally looked at as like one of the most athletic and strongest classes.
Yes, it's got a little bit of the athleticism of the 80s, a little bit of the power of the 105s, right? It's kind of its own thing. And you got a lot of guys that don't quite want to make that jump to 105. So there's some big-ish cuts, myself included. I think Jake Allen was like 235 on game day, right? I was
He's a
225.
massive human being.
Massive, dude. I think he's going to 105 now. But you guys have biggest cuts. But the goal was, top half. We didn't hit that. We hit 23rd, right where I deserved to be. I was unable to hit either trump lift. But we took that and moved on.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily we qualified for PSL. We did the Baltimore qualifier last minute. I jumped in on a week's notice just because my buddy Mike Ramirez, man, shout out to Mike. He's always pushing me to do these shows. He's like, dude, you're near weight. You can make that cut easily. Jump in. And there was 6 guys signed up, and we said, hey, we got a decent shot at podium, so let's try it. And we did just that. We hit the podium and earned our invite to the final. And dude, I've talked about it a lot this week. Some people are probably tired of hearing me talk about it, but man, I cried tears of joy, dude, when I came in fourth, man. Like that class was so stacked, right? So I don't even know if I said it. You came in fourth. You said it. The goal was top 10. Right, I'm a long, big talker, but goal was top 10. Stretch goal was top 8, which puts me at the top 50%, right, to prove that I belong there. And there was a secondary goal in the top 8. Tyler, they didn't really announce it, but Tyler Purdue, the owner of PSL, he kind of put us against each other. He said, hey, there's 5 European guys, right? So why don't we take the top 5 Euros and put them against the top 5 Americans? Now, on average,
country on country.
Right, dude, and we were living it up, man. We were hamming it up. We were saying Team USA, the Euro guys are going down. Long live the Queen. There's a little trash talk.
That's awesome.
Starting country. It was fun, man. They called it like the Tea Party 2.0.
Oh my god.
It was fun. We didn't really announce it, and he didn't really specify how we were going to score it because at the end of the show, so my third goal was to have my score, if possible, help Team USA. Right, I got an American flag on my back. Everybody calls it a world championship, right? Tyler calls it the PSL U90 final, but because there's guys from all over the world, it's considered a world championship and widely considered the second best U90 show there is now that Chaos is done, right? Or competitive, because Chaos brought some talent, right?
Yeah.
This show was stacked, and so one of the goals was to be one of the top 5 Americans, so that my score helped carry us for America.
Well, I'm pretty sure your score freaking absolutely did help. So I didn't know that you guys were doing that whole like American versus European thing. I was just I was watching the whole thing. And if I remember, you had a couple guys go before you, but you were the first guy to hit the last bag.
I think it was Lewis Bolton, actually. So Lewis Bolton, dude, he just got the British axle record. He's chasing the world record, U90. He's going to get it someday. Yeah, phenomenal young stud. I think he's 25.
Oh my God.
Dude, he mogged that sandbag run. He was incredible. But and then Josh Pinkerton went before me. He got it. He got it very slow. I got no problem saying that because I love Josh if he sees this, but Josh is a big-time shit talker. He was in the DMs all prep with all different guys sending selfies talking shit. So during the show, and you know me, dude, I love everybody. We're hamming it up backstage. I'm talking to Tyler Davis about strategy when some of the bag weights changed. I'm like, Tyler, here's the deal, bro. Like, I have no problem helping Tyler because Tyler's way up here, right? And we discussed it. And Tyler and I were the only guys who repped out the 275 bag to shoulder. We can talk about that later. Pinkerton comes over. I'm telling a Pinkerton story. Pinkerton comes over. He's like, "Oh, bro, what's the strategy? What's the game plan?" I'm like, "Josh, dude, anyway, last time this one. I'm like, Josh, bro, I love you, but you talk shit to me all prep. I'm not gonna give you my strategy." And he looked at me like what? But anyways,
so
give him his due. Give him his due. Pinkerton loaded the third bag, but it was very slow. And I said, "All right, I can take my time." Normally, I would go for the heaviest bag first, but this is strategy. Again, this is the stuff people don't see at the show. Tyler Purdue, before the event, the 300 bag, it was supposed to be 275, 300, 325. The 300 bag was waterlogged. It was 340. It was a safety issue. They weren't going to let us load that. So they changed it to 250, 275, 325. It's a big jump, right?
Yeah.
And
yes, it was. Yeah.
When we when we talked about scoring, Tyler said there's split times on the bags, but it doesn't matter what bag you load. So say,
Yeah.
John, say you and I tied with 2 bags, and you did the 325, and I did the lighter ones.
Wouldn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter. So like we wouldn't tie, but my split time would be better than yours. So I said, all right, then the strategy here, if you're not confident in the 325, the strategy is to go full send on the first 2 bags, get them as fast as you can. And then if you can't get the 325, at least maybe other guys don't. And at that point, I think 3 guys failed the bag. Lewis got it fast. I wasn't going to beat that. And Pinkerton got it slow. So I took my time. And I took my time, collected myself. But dude, when I went to load the bag, I didn't have the greatest pick. I really had to drag it up my shins. I was really lucky that I didn't drop it, dude. My hamstring was screaming. And it was just a bad technique. And I took my time. I wanted to make sure that I got a nice high pick on top of my belt. And I definitely was the first guy that got it to the crossbar and relatively easy put it over.
Yeah, like when I saw you do it, I was like, oh, he's good. It's already there. Like everyone else kind of struggled when I saw it beforehand, minus Lucas Bolton. But
yeah, Bolton and Tyler, and that's one of the benefits of being a 6 foot tall athlete is once you get that high pick, you can just yeet it over the bar. Whereas those short guys, right, they're very powerful off the floor. Although if you see Jay Krause calling it hot dog and hamburger, right? If you're picking it up the horizontal way, I call it horizontal and vertical.
Yep,
If you
me
pick
too.
it up vertical, you have to do a much higher bump to get it over the bar.
Correct.
If you pick it up horizontal, it's a harder pick. But it's easier to get over the bar, and I'm much better at horizontal. I spread my legs out wide. I kind of do an RDL. I mean, just like you did with your keg at Nationals, bro. I saw that.
Yeah.
You did that keg, and you did like a weird like seesaw over your knee. That's exactly what I do. I'm not strong enough to just crank 300 to my lap.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't want to do that but when I was over in Poland, I was training with just a 200 keg, and even the 200 keg, like I was doing a load. I did a load. I went to reset, and I went to pick it how like you're supposed to, flat off the floor, or the faster way, flat off the floor. And I was like, "Yo, this bitch is heavy this way." And then I found a way to just jam it into the side of my knee and that little teeter totter. It made it consistent for me, and I was like, "Okay, we'll just run with that." But so I know you to be a big strategist. Obviously, we've competed with each other, never against each other, but competed with each other many a times now. So, obviously, I saw you compete at Nationals and then, the local shows, Guerrilla Games, Ocean States, and whatnot. How would you say, because, again, you're a big strategist, or you used to be a big strategist, how often now do you find yourself putting strategy over just, like, horsepower into an event? So like you really look at it. So like you're talking PSL, right? PSL was a big strategy game for you, and anyone who watched that saw it. Like you're doing what you needed to do, and it was beautiful. But like, how often would you say that it's sometimes good to forego strategy and just dump what you have?
Yeah, it depends on the event, right? The duck walk, double dragon into keg wasn't a heavy event, dude. We trained it a lot. It's funny, on the commentary, they said anybody who trained this more than a couple times is overtraining it. I trained it a lot because I knew that was going to be a really good event for me. And I mean, Nico sets the game plan. I just listen to it and I'll ask questions where I need to. On an event like that, dude, when you know you're ready, right? When you don't have jitters when you know that you're ready. I fully expected a top 5 in that event. I did not expect second. I was hoping for podium.
You're fucking
but that
crazy.
event was full send. I was so ready to go. That was the one event that I jumped the command. I kind of tripped over the mat and I had a false start, right? And I just knew, like, obviously you need to execute, but I was very well prepared for that. With static lifts and certain odd objects like keg press and double dumbbell, I very much had to strategize. Like in the moment, like when I grabbed the keg, it's okay. I have to, once it's on my lap, dude, I have to give it everything I got to get it to the rack. Once it's here, you're pressing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it depends. It's event specific, right? On an AMRAP deadlift, dude, it's full send, right? You might want to time your breathing a little bit.
Yep.
But like in case in point at PSL, I knew I wasn't really going to have a chance at 695. and 650 is my PR. So that third rep is a PR rep from 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to be ecstatic if I could get it. And after 2 reps, I knew I had a good chance. I just went for it. Thought about going for the 695, but we didn't. But
I probably would have just gave it a tug and been like, it's not there. But
so one of my things for this show, John, was the overarching game plan, knowing that, dude, I know that cardio and conditioning is my strong suit, the way Nico preps me, right? And I have to go to war on the sandbag carries and the cardio that it gives me year round because I'm not statically gifted. I am never one of the best pressers or deadlifters. I'm not a slouch at either, but I'm not nearly one of the best. So I have to milk my points in the moving and the conditioning. And I knew that, dude, this is a 6-event show that's going to take about 3 hours. It finished around 9:30 at night. It was a long day. And I knew that guys would be gassing. You have to have the conditioning and the cardio, not necessarily cardio, the muscular conditioning, because you can catch your breath in 30 seconds, right? A minute. You have to have the condition to carry that at the end. If you kill yourself on a 325 sandbag load on event 4, yes, you might get 100 points for that load. And then you get 2 bags, you get 200 points. My strategy was rep out the 275. So in the moment, in that 90 seconds, yes, I was gassing out, right? I was breathing heavy, but my CNS was fine, dude. It felt like an AMRAP, right? And then about 5 minutes later, I was ready to go on the farmers and log. And I executed, dude. I've only pressed a 275 log. Maybe I've got 275 plus. My PR is 302. But I've probably only pressed over. I've only pressed over 275 probably 15 times in my life, and I just pressed it twice after a 280 farmers in the 5th event of a championship show. So that was a big part of my game plan, having the gas tank to get to the end. But my biggest regret of the show, only real regret, was taking my time on that 325 bag in the gauntlet, because I know I could have made it to the top 5 if I rushed. Now, obviously, if I rushed, I might have hit the crossbar, right? If I made it to the top 5, I was ready to go, dude. Everybody says this post show, but dude, I was riding high. Right after I finished that, I put my arms up and I went out and played to the crowd right before the event. This is the stuff you don't see on the camera. Everybody's getting hyped up to do the event, dude. Before the event, I asked the promoter. I said, "Hey, can I go out there?" She goes, "No, not yet, not yet. It's not ready." I said, "No, I want to go high five those kids." There was a bunch of kids in the front row, dude. And I went out and I high fived all the kids and like hammed it up. Like, yeah, you want to save your energy for the show, but like, that's the stuff that keeps my mind off of the adrenaline and the emotion.
Yeah.
But I was ready to go all night, bro. I was ready to go all night on that thing, and my strategy played off. I wasn't going to milk any more points and catch up to Jesse Captain's the way it played out. He beat me by 9 points. So I literally milked every point I could out of that, and it all worked out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you finished essentially 4th in the world. So with that, right, and then kind of just based off the motto of Suck Less and the SuckLessStation podcast here, let's say going from our first big competition together, USS Nationals, to your following shows after that. So obviously we have the local shows, in which obviously I watched you perform at OSG, and now, finishing top 5 at PSL. What would you say are some things that you were doing or are still implementing or doing for yourself to essentially make yourself suck less, and then now that brought you to where you're at now? So from USS Nats to now, what are some things that you've implemented to make yourself suck less? And obviously that's a harsh statement, but
No, it's a good statement, because if we remember, right after USS Nats, I went to Mexico for a week with my wife and drank my face off. Came back.
I think we all remember
14th out of 60-something 220s in the nation. And then I did a local SC show, and I came in 7th out of 8th at 231. I got dusted. One thing that has definitely paid off, and it's not even my strategy, a few months after Nationals, we were in prep for we did a CrossFit comp, which was a lot of fun, CrossFit versus Strongman, and then we went into PSL Baltimore prep, and I had some doubts with Nico, my coach, and he said, "Dane," he said, "I have a very well thought out game plan for you. Please stop questioning me." He said, "Trust me. Please stop throwing down with your friends and going off program and having YOLO lifts. Like, stop doing yoke with Mo, stop doing circus dumbbell with Omri, or whatever me and you used to do, Corky." Because you know how it is at top, dude. You go in, it's like, "Oh, John's hitting axle clean and press." Like, "Yeah, I'll hit that with you, bro." He said, "Stop rowing down, follow my plan, and and you're gonna have a great show. And dude, at PSL Baltimore, we did have a great show. I hurt my back event one. Excuses, whatever. I can go on all day, but we had a great show.
Yes, you did.
Nico peaked me, and dude, I that's when I really kind of came into my own, I think, as a strongman. And right after that, I fully believed in Nico's vision and his off seasons. Nico, that's another thing. Nico, everybody thinks Nico's this big math monster static guy, right? Dude, he's really fucking smart, right? And I'm not trying to make this the GWO podcast. Believe me, the books are closed. He doesn't need any more members, dude. He's got plenty of members. He's got a waiting list at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm 40 years old, right? 41 now. After every big show, dude, he shuts me down. He says you can have like 1 or 2 YOLO lifts. I did a 302 log with Camby, and he says, dude, it's hypertrophy time. He said, we're going into a 6 to 12 week hypertrophy block. We're not going to deadlift. We're not going to squat. We're doing athletic shit. Dude, we're doing like box jumps and sprints and jumps across the turf, all sorts of crazy shit. And I'm like, what are we doing? All my friends are still hitting 600-pound deadlifts. Everybody's strong year round, and I'm doing this stupid shit. And then, dude, I did the OSG qualifier and we won. Go ahead. Sorry, I talked too much.
No, you're good. I don't want to cut you off, but just going back into that right there, like that is such a common thing that I see amongst coaches. Like, so once you finish and then, I know Nico's a great coach too. I was coach for him for a little bit as well. And, I have nothing but positive things to say.
We made some gains, kid. We made some gains together.
Yes, we did. But, what's it called? I see that so common amongst all coaches. Like right after an event, they're like, you get a free week. And what I really think that is, in my mind, is like, you got everyone. Like, it's pretty much everyone, right? Like, you do prep, and you're prepping. You're trusting the process. By the way, for any of you guys wondering, that's what he's saying. He started trusting the process and listening to his coach more. And instead of, what we like to call doing whatever the fuck you want, right? And then, but I think that free week is so good after, like, a big prep and a competition because your CNS might still be a little, it might be a little tanked depending how you prep, what the show is, all the other factors. But it gives you that week to just go get it out. Like, go ahead. Go blow it apart for a week. But because your coach knows at the end of this, you're moving into your hypertrophy block. Or like, for example, me right now, I'm in a 4-week like rehab block because I tore my rotator cuff and I broke my pinky. And at nationals. So like right now I'm like, I feel your pain, but that's where that discipline comes in, right? Like you just got to trust the process. You got to do the lame, as we want to call them, lame workouts or the boring stuff in order to prepare yourself for your next prep. Because too many people
I think you're doing pretty good at that, John. I watch your training from overseas. You're doing well with the Stronger Together team and I'll shout out your coach, Cody, because maybe Cody, it's hard to keep John reeled in, dude. He's always going, right? He's always motoring, taking the nose torque. Dude, when you and I were coached by Nico, dude, you're an 80. I was the 105 at the time, right? 220, 105. And you're coming in, and dude, I'm statically stronger than you, right? You have a very good jerk, right? And your deadlift caught me, but I'm bigger and stronger than you in certain respects. And this kid's coming into the gym, and he's hitting like the same sandbag carry as me. I'm like, dude, bro, it's supposed to be like RPE 9, dude. What are you doing? He's like, oh no, I feel good. And I'm like, and then dude, you would fail bags or fail stones at Coliseum Barbell. You're the reason we can't use tacky anymore. And dude, you're blowing out your skin. It's like it's admirable. You push hard, but like. Save some of that for the fucking show day, bro, Cody
literally gave me the best compliment in my entire life when I was still in Poland. He goes, No, actually, I don't know. Do you know who Greg Bryan is?
No.
He's like Greg 105.
Oh, 105K? Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
I know. I love Greg. I didn't know his last name, dude. I talk to Greg all the time.
Yeah, freaking, I was talking to him at the Shot Classic, and he's like, oh, hey, how's it going? Because I had just got done training. I was like, I dropped a 160-pound circus dumbbell on my head. I was like, here, look, feel the knot. It's crazy, right? Because I got a chance to actually touch a circus dumbbell. And he goes, why? He's like, what is wrong with you? I was like, I had to see if I could do it. You know what I mean? And then he goes, Cody literally calls you his most unhinged athlete. And I was like, that makes sense. I kind of am. But, yeah, no, he has me reeled in pretty good. What I found for myself is because, on certain apps, it lets you scale your workout, or not scale, but rate your workout. I find for myself, I'm like, easy. Like after a couple weeks of this, he gives me something. I'm like, okay, that was really hard. Hold on, let's bring it back. But yeah, no. What's it called? Freaking. I agree. Yeah, I have a real bad tendency, or at least I used to have a real bad tendency of kind of going off the rails or sending it too much or really overshooting my RPEs. But that has been one thing that like I've really been trying to dial back and dial into. And I mean, ever since I've become more self-aware and proficient at judging where I'm supposed to be, I've seen definite more progress.
Yeah, dude, you're about 10 years younger than me. As you get older,
What?
the little things pile up. My training age is young, but you gotta pick and choose your sends. What I do, I was talking to the guy about it today. We did some steeplechase, and today's my easing back in day. But I wanted to push it. I wanted to push the pace and have some good sprint packs. So what I'll do is like Nico always gives me the numbers in the RPE. I very rarely will go heavier than what he says. Like if it's RPE, I get to choose. And then if I feel like I messed up, or he'll give me the feedback and say, hey man, you went a little too hard. But what I do a lot of the times is like, if I have 3 steeplechase runs, I'll use the first one as a feeler, right? Make sure everything's good.
Nope, your mic cut out.
And
Oh, there we go. Oh, you muted it. Hit it again. Hold on, you muted yourself. Unmute yourself.
sorry,
There you
somebody
are.
just called me. I had to
Oh.
thumb them to voicemail.
No worries.
On run two, it's like, all right, this is like a full send run. And if something goes wrong, if I have a bad pick or something, I'll full send run 3. But if run 2 is really good, technically proficient, and I gave it everything I had, run 3 is just a formality. It's still heavy weight, but I'm not looking to crush myself.
Yeah.
And it's kept me healthy, right? I do that in kind of all areas. This prep, you follow me, dude. I had a little bit of self-doubt creeping in. I spent a whole year between shows. I see all my homies hitting like 370-pound behind the neck jerks while I'm still pressing like a 250 log. And I'm like, damn, dude, everybody's leaving me in their dust, including my buddy Robert Floater, dude. He killed it at Nationals. And I'm like, I don't know if I can beat him again, right? And this is a shout out to Rob, dude. He's leveled up. He's doing tremendous. Great guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, I don't know if I can beat him again. And he got 12th at PSL. I got 4th, you know? So self-doubt creeps in and shit, but I try to go into self-preservation mode a little bit. This prep, I kind of trained in exile a little bit. I left my gym that has a ton of people. I joined a new gym, and there's not a lot of people here. So like, dude, the self-doubt kind of and imposter syndrome kind of crept in more than ever. But I never did doubt that on game day I was gonna send it. So it all worked. It all worked out. But in training, I pushed a little bit harder. Nick, for instance, I can't push that hard when he gives me the numbers, but I know Nico well enough now with our blocks. He gave me a press, right? It was a push press, 4x8, RPE 8. So I knew that it was axle from the floor, right? Press away. I knew that next week is going to be 4x6, RPE 8.5, followed by 4x4, RPE 9, followed by 4x2, RPE 9.5. And I said, all right, you know what? I am going to set these numbers up so that in week 4, I'm going to hit a 305 by 2 PR. My PR is 300. Dude, we hit PRs the whole way, dude. Every week was a new PR on reps, except including 286. What's that? 120 kg, 130 kg, 120, whatever it is. I'm a kg guy now. We hit that for 4.
130.
We get to week 4, and I failed the 305. You know, I failed the clean. Came back, I got 1 rep, failed the second. Does that mean I'm a failure? Sure felt like it, right? But I know that if he peaks my press, I got probably 330 in me right now. Another quick one, dude. I know I go off on a tangent, but
you're good.
another self-belief, the belief in the off-season with Nico, right, and the athleticism, dude, I'm relatively injury-free, knock on wood. I got a shoulder issue right now, but about 4 months ago, maybe 5, right before prep started, we were deep in the off-season. I hadn't pressed anything. We were working on split jerks, but I owe you a lot of credit, dude. You helped me with the cleans and the fast elbows and everything, right? And my new gym has helped me tremendously, and Canby, dude, too. But we were doing split jerks at the Inez seminar, Inez Cascrillo, my teammate, right? One of the best to learn from.
I think I watched this, yeah.
And dude, so my PR leading into that seminar was 245. I think I hit 245 split jerk for 2. It's the heaviest press that I had done all off season since PSL Baltimore, where I failed the 270 log. Dude, that day we're working split jerks. I'm not technically proficient. We hit like 220, 250. We hit 275 clean, bro. You've seen it. You should have been proud. And then they said, load it up. We're going 300. Dude, I hit a 300 split jerk Axel from the floor. Didn't even put my elbow sleeves on, right?
Yeah.
Dude, Ken from Cerberus was in the room, Nico, my wife, Nanez, all these people in the room. And I hit a 300 split jerk PR, dude, in the middle of off season. And in that moment, like, not that I didn't already know, I'm like, holy fuck, like, dude, Nico is making me into a whole new fucking athlete, and I can't wait to prove it at PSL.
Yeah. It just comes down, right? It just comes down to dialing this, getting rid of the like the, oh, I didn't hit this today, that means this, the catastrophizing and everything like that. Like, your coach is a coach for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, too many of these people are like so quick to be like, oh, I'm not seeing progress. It's been 2 weeks. And they're like, that's it, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? Or they start bitching or they complaining, right? And not everyone's like that, but there's a lot of them. And like, I'm very much under the understanding. I'm just like, listen, you're a coach for a reason. I'm going to follow what you say. I tend to be a very disciplined person, except when it comes to my diet. Holly writes my diet, and I bitch and moan about that a lot. Every now
Bro,
and then.
I was wondering if you were gonna get into that, because that obviously Nico's been coaching me for a couple years, and we're just getting better, right? That's with time and our coaching relationship. Dude, me and Nico are like simpatico right now. I'm in the GWO group chat giving some of the younger guys tips and stuff. If Nico's busy and can't answer a DM in real time, I tell the guys, hey, I think Nico wants you to do this. And I asked Nico, I'm like, hey man, is that how you would have said it? He goes, dude, that was perfect. Like, thank you. Right? He calls me something of an assistant coach, which we got some stuff in the works on that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, with the nutrition, dude, I can't go on without even highlighting my nutrition coach, Frankie. Another one, dude. He doesn't need any more guys. I'm sure he would take some more guys on, but like his work speaks for himself. He does the nutrition for Alex Suckup. You know, he's one of the best 105s ever, right? My opinion, it still can't be, dude. But Alex, right there. Frank coaches a couple really good guys, and I've been working with Frank since OSG prep last year. And dude, he cut me down to 209 in June. He said, listen, man, we're not going to do these big cuts where you go 227 down to 212 in prep. He said, I want to get you shredded in the summer, right, ahead of time, and then I want to feed you all prep. He said, I want you in the middle of summer, if you want to go to the beach and have tacos with your wife, I want you to have the tacos and look shredded doing it. And dude, he did just that. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit of a grazer, dude, right? I don't know about you, so much so that he changed my program. Like, at night, I'll eat a couple protein bars before bed. I kind of make it fit my macros, but you see my pictures, dude, it's working. And so much so that Frank now, we're doing OSG at 105, so I have 6 weeks. I weighed 213 this morning, dude, which I'm shocked, because usually after a show I balloon up to 220, 222. And I've been kind of eating intuitively this week, right? He always gives me like a freedom week, even though I told him I didn't want it this time. And what he did, dude, he said, all right, man, here's what we're going to do. He said, I'm going to take away your high day, which is, we have a super high day on event day. He said, you're going to have high calories, carbs on training days, lower on non-training days when we pull carbs. But he said, every night, I'm going to give you 300 to 500 calories after your last meal to graze. We're going to call that Dane's happy hour, right? And dude, just eat it. I haven't even really used it yet, dude. Like last night, I got some Oreo ice cream with my wife, 250 calories. My wife had half. But the thing is, dude, I don't feel guilty. I don't feel like I'm cheating on my coach.
Yeah.
And I think I'm even eating less, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because now that it's allowed, you're like,
I want.
Yeah, it's like now that it's allowed, you're just like, you know what? I don't really want it. Whereas like when it's not allowed, like my big thing is candy. More specifically, Reese's Caramel King Size Big Cups. I'm an absolute slut for them, and it's so hard to freaking not eat them. So what I actually have to do is keep myself out of a gas station, because whenever I go to a gas station, if they're like there, I pick them up, and I'm just like, damn it. So what she's done is she's actually made me now keep track of my sugar intake during the day on our tracker. And so when I have to like put in my sugar, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to put this in there. So I just don't eat them anymore.
Yeah, well, here's the biggest problem for you, bro, right? I pay Frankie. He's my friend. I respect him. I don't want to lie to him. But you can't lie, bro. That's your wife. Like, that's your fiance, bro.
Exactly.
If she catches you lying, you're a fucking douchebag.
I'm a dead man. That's why it works. So I'm like, oh, I can't. Yeah. She's gonna be pissed.
Dude,
so.
for me, when I'm like, call it locked in, I'll do like 2 barbell bars, right? And yeah, it's 400 calories for 2 of them.
Good,
do I really need 2? Like, one's fine, but dude, they taste good, and there's minimal sugar. And then what I'll do is I'll do like a Greek yogurt with that true fruit. You ever had that shit yet? Dude, it's come out of nowhere. It's like chocolate covered blueberries and shit.
Oh my
God. Dude,
God.
a little bit of that, a little bit of protein powder in my Greek yogurt. And dude, realistically, that's not a bad snack, but I
No.
still feel guilty about it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. So you've essentially you become more disciplined yourself and trust in your coach, and then we'll call it dialing yourself in your training for yourself personally, and then on top of it you've improved your nutrition and shoot, man. I mean, realistically, like, those are everything that like a lot of people struggle with dialing in, and it's been really cool, or rather, sucking less at, because a lot of people suck at like a lot of things when it comes to that, believe it or not.
Yep.
But it's
Dude, it's the
shown
three
in your
it's the three
progress.
pillars. Yeah, it's the three pillars, right? Training, nutrition, and sleep. And probably the order is probably nutrition, sleep, training. That's another one. I got to give you credit, bro. Right here, look. I not to show you my leg, but I moved my Whoop to my leg. It
Oh,
needed to wrap up, bro. About a year and a half ago, you were like, "Oh, hey man, you want a free Whoop? I got this thing," and I was like, "I don't know. Everybody else has it. I don't want to be a zealot where I worry about my sleep and
that was the
shit, and
same thing.
God, don't train because it says I'm not recovered." But I did it, and dude, the number one thing I use it for more than anything, more than recovery, is sleep. Like I
Yeah.
go to bed and I wake up and it says, "Oh, you only got 70% sleep. You have sleep debt." I'm like, "Ooh, I should try and take a nap." Or I will literally tell myself, "Shut off YouTube and get to sleep tonight," because I have to get up for work at 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
and that's hard to do when you train in the afternoon. You take I slam pre-workout. It's hard to get to sleep, and that probably it's dude, it's the training obviously with Nico, and that's been constant. I've always kicked ass in training, right? We love going to the gym. It's the fun part, right? Hitting PRs. I've always been 100% committed and missed very few workouts. Once in a while, I would be like, today's not the day. My deadlifts aren't going good. I'll do it tomorrow. But I always have been the guy that cheats on his diet and doesn't get enough sleep. And when you get those two, dude, I don't even drink anymore. We just went out to lunch. The guys had a couple beers after training, and I decided not to. I'm going to Mike Ramirez's wedding next weekend, so I'm going to drink there. You know, yeah, I can count on one hand the amount of beers I had since I got back from the Florida Keys. You know,
That's
I
awesome.
sent it. Me and the wife went to Florida in May, dude. We drank.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't serve you, you don't need it, you know? I got to thank Mike O'Connor for that, too. This is going to be the shout out podcast because, like, I look up to Mike, dude. Like everybody knows Mike. He's a local legend, right?
Oh yeah.
He's not, no, he's a pro. He's one of the best in the country. But for New England, dude, like Mike is the guy, dude. Like he looks like a fucking GI Joe from the '80s.
He's like a damn
Everybody wants to
supermodel.
be. It's like Austin Powers, man. Women want him and men want to be him, right? And I
Yeah.
hope Mike sees it. Oh, Mike would always tell me, "Hey man, stick to the program," right? I'd be in a group chat. They'd be like, "Oh man, maybe don't do this, don't do that." Mike would be like, "Dude, stick to the program." And I learned, like, dude, I pay my coach, I pay Nico. I'm gonna stick to the program, dude. He's who I trust. Until I decide to part ways with Nico someday, which I don't think will ever happen now. Then I'm gonna stick to my program. That's what I pay him for. And if I have a problem with my program, I'm going to talk to my coach, not my boys. And if it doesn't serve you, then you don't need it, right? Like Mike would say, dude, stick to the program, do it on show day. You don't need to hit PRs, you don't need to do this. And dude, because Mike never hits PRs, like once in a while they come in training.
Yeah.
But dude, you hit your PRs on game day, and this thing, this is the overarching theme here, dude. With that placing at PSL, right? Do I think I'm the fourth best guy in the world? Absolutely not, right? At OSG, I got 23rd last year. It feels really great to get that placing. And what I say to my homies, they'll be like, "Oh, hey, jump in, do this yoke with us, jump in this show, do this CrossFit thing with us." And I say, "Nope, nope. I'm training. I am training for a world championship, right? Now, I want to be the best that I can be. And when it all comes down and you get to the show and you execute and you exceed your expectations and the placing matches and you had fun and you are on good people, and then the money we raised for the dog, dude, that made
Yeah,
my
that
heart
was
happy.
amazing.
It was just such an incredible weekend that I can't thank PSL enough. But when all of those stars align, dude, it makes the whole year worth it. The whole year of skipping shows and not drinking and maybe not going out and socializing with family, it's all worth it, dude.
That's That's amazing. Yeah, dude, it seemed like it was a really good weekend for you, just overall between the fundraising, the experience, and and then also, I mean, like you could tell that you were taking the competition serious, but like you were having fun there, and a lot of people really can't do that. And most of the people who I see who perform extremely well at competitions are the ones who are generally having fun. Not the ones who are just like miserable and like blah blah, and they're like, man, that event didn't go the way I wanted, and then they go sulk, and you're just like,
Yep.
So
John, can I hit the pause button for 1 second?
yeah,
I don't, because I'm gonna close the app for a second. My wife's texting me, dude, and I didn't tell her I was gonna be doing a podcast. She expected me home earlier. Got to keep the wife happy. She'll be watching this. I'm just gonna see what she needs real quick, and I'll be right back. Hopefully it won't disappear. I'm just gonna swipe down. Oh yeah, look at that. I can do this.
Yep. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's a beautiful thing about Discord and well, just phones in general. You can just and it keeps you in there.
Yep. I'm just texting her real quick.
No
I'm just telling her I'll
worries.
call her in a few minutes. Dude, I'll talk to you all day, dude. As long as that's another thing. Strongman selfish, dude. My wife's home with the dog today. We're supposed to go out suit shopping and do some stuff. You get these strongman Saturdays, especially when you travel. It's 4 or 5 hours, and
Yep.
it's a very selfish sport. So shout out to the wife, dude. My
Dude,
biggest supporter.
they're the best. Same, like, obviously, Holly and I, we don't live together right now because of distance and whatnot, but, like, it is so nice to have a significant other that is, like, understanding and supportive in that realm because, like,
Bro. Side note.
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, you're good.
Shout out to the future Mrs. Corcoran. Bro, your wedding is probably going to be the most fun wedding of all time.
Oh,
Can I talk about some of the shit that we got planned? Like, I'm going to be supposedly the beer maid, right?
Yeah.
And then we already said we're going to clean and press Corky for reps, right? Holly wants in. Holly wants
I
to
gotta
clean
put
and
on
press
some
her
weight.
husband. Honey Badger's supposed to go. Me and Honey Badger are going to have a rematch because he got me at OSG. I just got him at PSL. This is going to be, dude, we're going off program for your wedding, bro.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're going to have to go in the mountains and do some shit.
We're gonna have some fun. Oh, did I tell you about the beer goat as well? That's gonna be accompanying you.
No, you did not.
Yeah, so we're gonna get like a beer delivery goat. Like we're gonna have a goat. We're gonna throw like a little satchel on it, fill it with ice, and put beers in there to like walk around with you, so people can collect.
Oh my god,
There's gonna be
dude, I can't wait. I'm gonna make that my Instagram profile picture, probably.
Dude, it's gonna
Yeah, I
be
can't
awesome.
wait, dude. I need to get the dates the dates off you again, and I gotta plan that trip with the wife. We're looking forward to it, dude.
I got you. Yeah, I'll re-engage inside that group chat because I imagine a bunch of people forgot. But what's it called?
And the good thing is, you guys won't schedule it around any important shows because I
No.
want to do World Ultimates maybe.
Oh,
But
you want to
if
go
it-
over there?
if it- Yeah, but if it's the same day as your wedding, we're skipping World Ultimates. We're going to the wedding.
Hey, fair enough. I appreciate that. I wanted to do ultimates too,
Friends,
but
friends
like
come
it's
first, bro.
it's
Friends come first.
I agree. So, being that you have, so this will be my last question. Then I'm gonna let you get back to your day. So what is something I got asked this question to ask on this podcast, and you and I have a decent amount of experience inside the realm of competing or competitive sports and fitness in general. If someone came to you and was like, what do I need to do, or what can I expect trying to get into either fitness or on the back end of it, trying to get into, let's just say, strongman, right? Like if someone came to you and was like, hey, I'm looking to get into strongman, what can I expect? And let's just say they don't have any type of like working out history in the past, like aside from their high school football coach.
Well, let me think of how to answer this. It depends on what the person wants out of the sport. I would ask them, right? One thing you're going to get is you're going to get some pain, right?
Yeah.
These events hurt.
Get used to being uncomfortable.
Yep, but you're gonna learn a lot about yourself in the crucible of training, right? Not to sound like a hardo. Nobody can give you a 200-pound axle overhead, or if they're getting started at 150, whatever it might be, right? And but what if you're not too introverted and you're willing, like I have been, to just say hi to people and get to know them, kind of like you did with me when you told me you were coached by our friend Brittany. Like if you're not introverted and you're willing to ask for help, you will get it in spades, right? People in this sport are for a bunch of introverted dudes, because we really are. We're very helpful, and everybody wants
Oh,
to see
yeah.
people succeed. Like I've let people borrow my equipment for a show. I've given people tips and tricks on how to beat me at shows.
Yeah.
The community and the camaraderie for an individual sport, it's unparalleled. Powerlifting is pretty good on game day. People like cheer for each other and stuff. Bodybuilding's terrible, right? Bodybuilders. I was a bodybuilder. They're so self-centered and whatever. Like, don't get me wrong, you have teammates and stuff, but everybody's vain and just wants to have a better six-pack than each other. But in strongman, like if you and I go against each other, John, I want to beat you, right? I want to dust you. But if you
Right.
beat me, right, I'm happy for you. And if you beat me, it's like I wasn't good enough on this day. I need to get better, right?
And like,
The
and on the
waiting.
flip
Wait.
side of that, right? Same thing. Like we were just talking about, always willing to help each other. Like I've never been to an event where I haven't, like, if someone went before me on an event. Oh, hey, Chuckles91. Thanks for the follow, brother. What's it called? I've never been to a show where someone went before me in an event and didn't come back with like some type of helpful feedback, like I do myself. For example, at nationals and stuff like that, the deadlift event, I personally thought they were being a little too lenient on the drop for the touch and goes. Because I swear to you, like some of them dropped it so hard, I swear it bounced back off the floor. So I went and I told my competition, I told Ant, I told Will, I said, hey guys, they're being pretty lenient on these drops. Go out there and get aggressive with it. Just send it. Yeah. And they're like, oh my God, that helps so much. Thank you. And that's the best part about it. Because like at the end of the day, like you said, we want to beat each other. But like if I go before you or you go before me, like, hey, I'm going to give you feedback on this because I want you to be at your best. I don't want you to lose to me because like I know something more than you. Like, no, I'm going to help you out.
There's honor and integrity in that, and you want to beat somebody at their best because then you know you earned it, right? If you beat somebody and you had a trick, don't get me wrong, dude. In these big shows, right? You don't want to just volunteer your strategy, right? But there's certain things you can help with. Like, dude, at 2022 Nationals, Mike Ramirez went before me. This is before me and Mike were really close friends. We were just acquaintances. We helped each other that day. So we really struck up a friendship. He went on the stone, dude, and I think he got one rep, maybe two. I forget what he got. But he came back. He said, dude, the stone is super dusty. There was no tacky. And he said, let me help you wipe it off. And before I went, Mike Ramirez, even though he just heartbreakingly got second place instead of first because of the stones, he took the time to get over it and grab his tacky towel and wipe the stone off for me. And I got 4 reps, dude. Like, he helped me hit a massive PR, and I beat him in that event, right? Shout out to Mike. I'm undefeated against Mike in challenges.
Oh, by the way, Chuckles91 here said, who let Dane in here?
Hey, who's Chuckles? Do I know him? Do I know this man?
Potentially. See, with Twitch, it just gives me their their Twitch name. So I'm sure you'll hear about it later.
If I know you, shoot me a DM if I know who you are.
But yeah, man. I mean, what's it called? It's just that's the reason I like this community. And I'm trying my best to, like, everywhere I go, right? You know, it's kind of like the golden rule: treat everyone the way you want to be treated. That's realistically what it comes down to. Some people are pricks. You know, you can't stop it, but it is what it is. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, the only way to build a community is by doing the things that you want to happen. So, like, you know, helping promoters promote shows, helping, you know, if you, like, for example, Top Strength. Like, I know when Steve asked for people to come help set up for a show or something like that, like, it's like all hands on deck without even a second thought. Like, yep, cool, got you, help you set up. Same thing with like teardown, and then like competitor to competitors. Like, I've never not seen people chirping and helping each other out. I've never not seen it.
For me, it's emceeing, dude. Because as you can tell, and your friends here on Discord and Twitch will tell, I love to talk. So I get on the mic at these shows.
Charlie.
I bought my own wireless mic. I'm starting my business. Have Mike Will travel. I don't even charge. I did the Connecticut Pro-Am for free. James was there from Strongman Course. Said, oh man, we could use some good MCs, dude. And I would love to do that more. And I got some stuff in the works with Tyler from PSL. I gotta talk to the wife. You know, I gotta get approval because the number one priority is my own strongman career, if you want to call it that. There's only so many weekends in the year, but I might be going down to Baltimore and emceeing the Baltimore event, and maybe got some stuff in the works with Tyler because I think I could bring tremendous value emceeing the event and highlighting the men and women who are lifting, let the crowd know what it weighs and things like that sometimes are missed at the shows. You know?
Oh, dude, that'd be sick. I've heard you MC before. You're freaking phenomenal at it. Oh, by the way,
I don't have the greatest voice for it, but I have. I like to joke around and
you got the energy.
Charm,
you got the energy and the charm. It's Charlie Doe.
I got to turn on the voice. Like, up next, Jonathan Corcoran. I don't do that shit, dude. We don't need that. That's fake, you know.
Yeah. No. It's very genuine and it's infectious and like people get behind it. But it's your boy Charlie Doer. That's who Chuckles is.
Oh, what's up, Charlie? Yes, I love Charlie. We could do a whole podcast on me and Charlie, dude. What's up, kid?
But what's it called? So,
Charlie, I'm sorry that this wasn't Zach Schultz. Okay, we'll get Zach next time. All right.
I think Zach finally got his technical difficulties figured out. But him and I
think I might have. Zach. When you see this, let's see what you got,
dude. Actually, you know what? That would be great to see. Is seeing you two I'd be like, you know what? We'll make a poll. Who's more ripped, Dane Trains or Zach Schultz?
Dude, he's more ripped, dude. He's more ripped. I'll give it to him.
He's sick.
He's got,
He's
if I'm
insane.
not mistaken, he's got a lot of tattoos hiding up the shreds. You know, that's why I don't get tattoos.
Definitely
But,
the most aesthetic 80 kilo.
oh yeah, him or Nick Coffin. But you know
Yeah.
what? I love Nick, but I think Nick's got more like bigger traps and maybe a little more shreds. But personally, I think I like Zach's look better. Don't come at me, Nick. Sorry. You know?
They do have two very distinct looks to themselves, but they both, in terms of aesthetics, phenomenal.
I
Absolutely.
base all of my aesthetic stuff on two people. Number one in the whole world, C-Bum, right? I compare everybody to
Yeah.
C-Bum, and nobody can touch him. And then number two, Mike O'Connor. So you know,
yeah.
you got a lot of work to do. Nobody's gonna catch those two. And I've met them both. I've stood next to C-Bum. I've stood next to Mike O'Connor, and Mike's bigger. Mike ain't C-Bum, but Mike's bigger.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Maybe not the
though.
wheels. Maybe not the wheels.
But, well, Mr. Dane, hey, again, thank you so much for coming on here short notice and being a part of the first episode. What's it called? Just kind of transparent. I'm not going to edit this whatsoever because everything was genuine and, like, I personally don't think it needs to be cut. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this up on YouTube if that's, like, cool with you. And
Yeah, go for it, dude.
And then, again, dude, I just can't thank you enough for jumping in last minute. You saved the stream, and then welcome to the SuckLessStation, and thanks for coming out and being a part of our first episode.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, anytime.
Tag me, and I'll post this on my Insta.
I got you, my dude. I'll try and find us like a good little clip. I'll rip it out of here, and then I'll post it up and send it to you.
All right, man. Suck less.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, take care.
Yeah. Bye.